Like, I'm not going back to another mental institution. I didn't even say anything to her. I just walked in, and that's what she said to me. And it was right then and there. I walked out in tears. I was so mad, so upset, and just felt like I had no hope. Like, this was just how it was going to be for me. And I told Wes, I said, I'm just going to do it God's way. And it's so funny because I didn't know any of this stuff. I just would say these things that I didn't even know, and I would just do it. And so I started looking into the natural healing for stuff. It went into me thinking that I had food allergies, or I needed to do a detox or cleanses. But everything I would do, it just everything got worse. It just kept getting worse. Nothing got better. I was always in so much pain. And I felt bad because I could barely spend time with my children. And then I started having things coming out of my skin, out of the holes. And even at this time, my dosage of Adderall kept getting upped, and even a booster dose during the day. And it seemed like, now when I sit and think about it, the Adderall with the technology, it was like building upon each other with it. Like, it was working together. And
wow, that's so interesting. You experience it as though they were working together. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Just continue.
And so it was like my body was starting to purge. Trying to purge the technology,
yeah.
Which I know that there are some people that doesn't happen
Sure.
with them. But at that point, I didn't even know what was going on or what I had, or that it was even a possibility to have technology in the body. So I started having what looked like little iridescent, metallic colored wires that looked like coming up out of my skin like fibers. And so I would go and show Wes and be like, I don't know what this is, or grains of what looked like grains of rice would come out of some of the holes.
How painful is that?
It was very painful. But it wasn't even just that alone that it was painful. It was, at the time I didn't know it, but I was also getting hit by direct energy weapons. So at times I would feel like my whole body on the inside was on fire, or like my head could just explode. Or certain parts of my body would get hit and targeted, and I would have horrible pains where I would hunch over. It was almost it would paralyze me, right then and there. But as this just continued to get worse and worse, now, it seemed like the times when I would run out of my Adderall and I would have to take a couple days off of it, it was very, very hard because of the addiction to it at that point. But it would seem like my skin would it would calm down some.
Oh.
And that's why I said it was like it was working together, because when I would get back on it again, more stuff would start purging from my skin. I was looking up at different things of what it could be online. Of course, I came across parasites. So I was like, okay, do a parasite cleanse. Look at all the different things to try and do parasite cleanses. We spent, I don't even know how much money and all of this natural stuff to try and help. Some stuff, it would be I would get a little relief, but then it would just be right back to the holes would open up again. My blood was like jelly and stringy. It wasn't even like regular blood. It was getting to that point. And once I started looking more online, I started coming across stuff that was like Morgellons. Because I was looking up, I started doing more specific searches because of the things that were coming out.
Yep.
And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? When it started talking about technology, and they were telling people, do not go to the hospital saying that you have this. They will lock you up. They don't want you to know you have it. So I'm sitting here what is going on? Like, I don't know anything about the government, nothing. You know, there's that whole false reality
False reality overlay.
And, you know, and right then and there, everything just started kind of falling apart. And I started doing more research into it. This is kind of where I started questioning things and asking God. I wanted the truth, like what's going on. And that's where we started learning about the government, about all of the false programming, religious programming, of everything being not true, the lies, like everything was just starting to fall apart in our lives.
This is when you became a truther.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
You, no, but not alone. You and Wes is your husband. Mm-hmm. Together went into this.
Yes, and poor Wes, like truly, like I sit and think, because like I would come to him and he's just minding his business and I'd be like, do you know what? Can you believe this? And he's just like looking at me, but he would look into it. Like, he didn't call me crazy. He would genuinely look into it, and then he'd be like, wow, you know. So both of us started on this journey of learning the truth. And I mean, at one point, learning everything, we had nothing to say for like 2 days. Like, we just could not talk. Like, we were just in shock of how everything we thought isn't.
My goodness.
And so started learning about that, trying to find out as much information as we possibly could. I had a moment where we were outside and we were with our kids, and we knew some storms were rolling in, and we knew that we had enough time, so we were going to start helping get them, because they were still very young. Well, as I went to go step out onto the street, there was a lightning strike right as I put my foot down. I was barefoot. That lightning came right to me. Stopped me in my track, went through. I felt it travel through my body, up my leg, up my arm, across, and then back out. And it just came from nowhere. And the crazy thing about it is, like, I just stood there. It didn't even faze me. I just said to Wes, I think I just got struck by lightning. And he just looked at me, and my hands were like purple and on fire, my feet, and my heart was racing so fast, and just stood there, like, collected myself and just kept going. Like, it was no big deal.
Wait. So you have Morgellons, mm-hmm. all this other trauma, mm-hmm. direct energy weapons. I'm just going to take a lightning bolt.
Yes.
To the leg and, like, just keep walking around.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
You are. Now, I'm going to have to ask you about super soldier programming in a second, okay? Yeah. But we're just going to finish this line of it. I mean, you're kind of hardcore.